Hey guys, it's the North Country Nerd, and there's something I wanted to talk about, and it's the way the world's evolving, and I think it just feels great. Um, like as a people, we always put so much down on physical objects and owning things, but then we also get involved in this resource anomaly that can be just taken care of. As a retro gamer, I just like having game cases and whatnot, and I just like always refusing to buy digital. And as a movie enthusiast, I always hate buying digital movies because I don't have the movie in my hand. And I used to buy CDs until recently, all the time, until like probably a few years ago. I used to always buy CDs still, and it's starting to change for me. I was, and it's just started changing recently in the world of books because I never was a reader, and then I got these books on my phone, and I was like reading it. I read it better than I could read any book. Like, I don't know why. It just something there. So we live in such a digital age where we can have music, movies, games, books, all just stored in the cloud where it's not even on your hard drive anymore, you know? It's just stored up in the cloud, like access it from anywhere you want. If you have internet connection, that is. But that's what I'm saying, like, there's gonna be a day where whatever cell phone service you have, you're probably never gonna not have service anymore. Something's gonna happen with that. You're gonna have, maybe you even have Wi-Fi everywhere is available. There's gonna be Wi-Fi. I don't know. And you're gonna have the different services to choose from, and it's gonna be like a whole new business you get. You'll be like, oh, I buy my books off of iBooks, or I buy my books off of Kindle, I buy my books off of Nook, It's crazy. It's the same thing going with streaming music right now. We got now Apple Music, we got Xbox Music, we got Spotify. You know what I mean? It's crazy to think about that. And radio is now like Pandora. Radio is over the internet now, and it's crazy. Podcasts, stuff like that, like things that just live digitally. You know what I mean? Like, I can now have a podcast. I don't even need a radio station to get my voice out heard. I can make a podcast, have people see it. Just basic things, and well, not see but hear it, but just basic things, guys. And you may be like, well, like I said, I understand the sentimental about owning something physically, but when you get to it, ownership is you. And just because it's just something that we as people, we just need ownership of physical things, and like it just starts becoming a wasted resource. Like, I've been you know what I mean, like music digitally now, my books are digital, like I'm starting to buy movies. It's hard for me, but I'm starting to buy movies digitally. I'm buying some games digitally now. I get it. Stuff could be wiped out, and you'd be like, oh, what are people going to read after all this goes to an end? It's like, guys, our problem is we're always thinking about the end, and the worst thing, just thinking about worst case scenarios is always going to hold us back and never move us forward, and will probably end up being our ultimate demise, is worrying about something bad happening. So, I get it. Working at paper mill is a big job resource, but the times are different. People, like people my age and people between, I'm going to say people under 30 are starting to realize, anybody under 30 will start to realize that people aren't going to be working the same way they used to work, you know? It's just crazy. 3D printing, you can print parts out. You know what I mean? You can print parts out to literally just manufacture more 3D printers. You just do stuff like that. You can 3D print your food. They're working on bio printing to help, you know what I mean? So people don't have to be transplanted anymore. You can just make new from them. The future is just, the new modern day 10 years from now is going to be amazing. You know, I just see it as it's going to be amazing. But I can also see it being as terrible because we're going to have so many people fight against change, and the conservatism they have is going to slow us down to a halt if we let them, and we can't let that happen. We just gotta keep moving forward. Just moving forward, you know what I mean? You gotta let go of physical things sometimes. I mean, my comic books is gonna be the next hard thing, but when I think about how amazing things would be with less resources, like, let's also look at HoloLens. Literally, do I need a TV anymore after HoloLens? I can just have, or if you've seen the demo from their build conference this past year in 2015, like, his entire apartment, he has like this calendar. It's not a paper calendar anymore. He just has the virtual calendar sitting on his wall. The virtual calendar sitting on his wall. He has, you know, that he could access his movies as apps and make his screen as large as he wants, you know? It's like, it's just, do I need a TV anymore? Do I need a computer anymore? I mean, basically it is a computer that sits on your head. But do I need a cell phone? Possibly. I mean, not everybody's going to want to have something sitting there, but cell phones are the next thing. You know what my cell phone is? Guys? I mean, it's an iPhone 6. Just a regular 6, not the Plus. But it's a camera. It's a flashlight. It's my MP3 player. It's my GPS. It's my phone. It's my email. It's everything I need it to be. It's my book. My book that can be any book I want it to be. It plays any song I want it to play. It plays any movie I want it to play. It plays any video I want it to play. Sorry, I get distracted and just look at the screen and not the camera sometimes, so I don't really like, what is he looking at? But, you know, just coming down and using less resources, like, because if you watch Interstellar, like, it's possible that we would exhaust our resources, and global warming, like, poor California and their reservoir, their water's almost gone. I mean, global warming is paying somewhat to that, and we just manufacture so much stuff and produce so much waste that isn't needed. Not only do you need to make you need to make discs for video games, you need to make the case, you might make a little pamphlet with code in there. You have to, when you make books, make tons and tons of paper. Same with CDs and movies. Guys. Cars. I mean, I think, is it Toyota? I'm pretty sure it's Toyota with that hydrogen fuel cell car. That's something we need. We need, you know, electric cars. We need to get rid of that. There's a good video, and I'll link it below, about how solar paneled roads would just save so much, you know what I mean? I don't know, guys, it's just so hard. Like, I can see so much promise in the future, but at the same time, it kind of hurts to know that there's going to be people fighting against it. And I understand why people want to fight against it and be conservative, but we just gotta let the future flow, guys. We gotta do that. We gotta make sure that we can save our planet. We can gotta make sure that we're saving our resources for stuff that's important. I mean, social activity, I mean, I get it. People are like, oh, well, it's not as, people don't know how to just talk over the phone or talk in person anymore. They just know how to talk through the internet and through social networking, but it's still talking to people. It's still know people. Sure, you know them virtually, but I mean, there's dangers in anything, and I don't know. Hey, heck, look at self-driving cars. Self-driving cars, and they've been in accidents, but it's always the humans at fault. That's why there's an accident, because we don't know how to react to that. And I mean, people are like, well, I don't want to lose driving. It's like, because we're accustomed to it. People didn't know about driving back long ago. You can't say that if they saw a self-driving car, if you brought somebody that there was no cars before, they would think it's crazy, but they want to feel the same sentiment. Oh, I need the feel of driving. It's just because we have. If it's going to reduce accident rates in the long run, you know, it's going to get us people places faster, safer. That's what I mean. It's just going to plug in a route. You never have to. It's just crazy, guys. The future's crazy, and the future is so close. Like, from what I'm describing, I mean, 10 years from now, everything I'm talking about is probably going to be the new standard. Most music is the new standard. It has been the new standard. Movies and games are definitely going to be that way. Especially with streaming services like Netflix and Hulu. I mean, you know, pretty much cable companies are going to go away. I understand people got cable jobs, but I mean, you're going to keep internet cable, but like, we got fiber optic, and I think the world needs to all move towards fiber optic, and need to get past that old technology that Time Warner has. And I think more places need cellular towers, and with 5G speeds coming up soon, and AT&T's HD call, if I tested it in an area with a buddy, and that sound is pixel clear. It's pixel clear. That makes sense. It's super clear. Yeah, guys. I mean, the world's going to be changed, and sometimes it's hard to let go of the past, but it's going to change, and if we let it change the way it should change, it's going to do a lot in the long run to save our resources, to get rid of physical things that take up space, and things that have to be thrown away sometime, eventually causing more waste. You know, virtually, it's just everything you need soon is going to be within a few different items. Between your phone, your computer, your holographics. It's all going to be within those 3 items, and you're going to have furniture, and that's all you're going to need to live your life, you know? And the economy's going to change drastically. From working on manufacturing is going to be less of too, but there's going to be a big spike in computer and digital people, and you may say, well, some people are better with their hands, but there's going to be people that need to fix self-driving cars, so there's going to be people that need to build the buildings in the first place, construction. You know, there's always going to be something for somebody if they adapt to it. Like, there wasn't people back in the day of the 1800s that just because that person was nerdy somehow, you know, you didn't have computer jobs as an option. You didn't know what a computer was, but he found his way through life. You just find your way, and the world's just changing. We got to remember that. We can't just be like, well, this would be like this and this and this and this, because we just got to be like, guys, listen, I understand where you're coming from, but we're adaptive people, and we can always adapt to be the better of things. So, yeah. But anyways, there's always going to be thrills. People are always going to want thrills. People are going to want planes. One day, self-driving planes that'll be able to land, take off, just drive you there, do all the proper maneuvers, go skydiving properly, you know what I mean? And just be able to mid-air share of your video streaming of you flying, skydiving. I don't know, man. That's crazy. And just like the bioprinting, being able to use your own cells to print out organs is fucking amazing. You know, people are gonna start living a lot longer with stuff like that. So, guys, I was the North Engineer, and that was my just little rant and my bold outlook, I guess, and my enthusiastic outlook to how good the future can be. So, thank you guys for listening and taking your time, and see ya in the future.